What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, back at it again. Appreciate everybody that's been showing love on all the content, subscribing and keeping up with the latest and the greatest. And make sure if you are liking the content, come through, keep checking us out, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. We appreciate y'all. Now, the news has broken. Former UNC guard Caleb Love is headed to the Big Ten. He's going to Big Blue Nation. He's headed to Michigan to play for Coach Juwan Howard. Hate him or love him, Caleb Love is a UNC icon. Let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
The opportunity to play at North Carolina is something I never take for granted.
Caleb Love came to Chapel Hill 3 years ago, a 5-star McDonald's All-American, destined to be the next great UNC lead guard. The kid from St. Louis was going to set it off. He was given the keys to the offense from day one. There was a lot of pressure his freshman year. See, this was a weird point in Carolina basketball history. On one side, they were 3 years removed, just 3 years from a national championship. But the 2019-2020 season, the COVID year, was the worst year of Roy Williams' career as a head coach. And that was still fresh on the fans' minds. Then, after the season, Roy ended up shocking the hoops world abruptly when he retired. It was needed, though. I mean, you could just see him struggling on the sidelines with his health. If you know, you know. If you don't, you know. I mean, I can't really. But anyways, so this team in 2020, they needed to make UNC basketball great again. The roster was full of McDonald's All-Americans, but the group didn't really pan out that season. Caleb individually had a lot of growing pains, but that's expected with a young guard making that transition to high major or any type of college basketball coming from the high school ranks. Expected to be a one and done though, at least that was the word around town. He averaged 10 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds in 27 minutes of play in Roy Williams' last season. He struggled with turnovers and getting open shots. He was forcing a lot of tough shots, and that's something that kind of stuck with him his whole career. That team ended up losing in the first round of the tourney to Wisconsin. Caleb decided to come back, and we all remember this last year, super sophomore year. My goodness, what a time to be alive, for real. They were one of the most frustrating but exciting teams of the year that season. I'm gonna just say this though, bro. He owned Duke. First off, he sent Coach K out with an L at the crib in Shesheskyville. His last home game ever sent them out of here. And we can't forget this memorable sequence right here between him and Mondo. I mean, this was just awesome to see, doing their own tribute to LeBron and D. Wade. Then, the game we had been waiting for over 50 years. I thought the state of North Carolina would implode if this ever happened, dog. UNC and Duke in the Final Four, battling it out with everything on the line. Coach K and Roy's last season, are you kidding me? And Caleb Love put 28 on them boys. Went crazy. Made play after play after play after play. Nobody could hold him. And then this is why he's an icon right here. This shot right here is why he is an icon in UNC history. I ain't gonna lie. It stung that next game though, when they lost to Kansas in the championship after holding a double-digit lead. That was tough to swallow. But it felt like all roads were running through Chapel Hill the next year when Caleb made the decision to come back. Should we get into that title game? Because I'm telling you right now, the odds were not in those dudes' favor. They overperformed, and it kind of set them up for unrealistic expectations the next year. They came in the number 1 seed. All roads felt like they were running through Chapel Hill to get to that title. They brought back virtually everybody from a national runner-up team. It kind of felt like a given. And honestly, Caleb Love could have went pro off that not even off that tournament run alone. I mean, he gave UCLA a 30 ball. He gave Duke 28 in the Final Four. Like, he literally, the buzz was crazy. So when he did decide to come back this season, it was nuts. Like, man, and it just did not pan out. Something that I noticed too was during the stats, you can see the progression year after year. But the turnovers and the assists were way too close. Caleb never really developed into a true point guard that could prove that he could run an offense. So maybe he will be able to do that at Michigan and kind of transform that. Obviously, we see the free throw percentage. You don't want to see that dropping continuously. And the field goal percentage, the three-point percentage. He just wasn't making the same shots this year that he was making last year. He was taking the same shots, but they were falling more last year. But it was just a tale of just never being able to create enough space and forcing tough shots. He shot them out of a lot of games last year. And mind you, it wasn't just his fault. There was a lot of drama and stuff going on with the team, it felt like. But at least that's what was being reported. But I will say, Caleb Love, though, overall, sophomore season, 3-1 against Duke. This year was a letdown. Stats, scoring was there, but it was a letdown. And I feel like a lot of people were so high on him at first. Like, coming into the year, everybody was. And it's kind of like a love-hate now. It's just like, he's one of the most controversial players in UNC history because of last season, where it was like an all-time high, and then this season where it was like a complete letdown, and the team just did not look good. And it felt like Caleb Love, almost in a sense, wore out his welcome at UNC. And I think a fresh start was good for both programs. Excited to see what happens next with RJ Davis and those new recruits coming in, Simon Wilcher and those guys. The backcourt should be good. Yeah, man, I just think that it was time for them to part ways, and I'm sure he'll get a lot of playing time. I mean, he'll probably be their main guard at Michigan with all their losing. So, man, shout out to Caleb. Love him or hate him, though. Kid's a UNC icon. He did his thing, and we're grateful that he put on the Carolina blue, man. Salute. For all the latest and the greatest, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's a wrap for us. Appreciate y'all. Keep subscribing. Keep showing love. Let me know what y'all feel like in the comments. Did Caleb Love, is he an icon at UNC in your opinion? What's the deal? Holler at your boy. Until next time, it's been Live with Brandon Blake. You dig?